Hi, I'm Danny Nightmare.
I'm Gory Movie. Midsummer!
Hells yeah.
Let's go see it.
Well, it's Midsummer. We just saw Midsummer.
It was a movie at the movie theater.
I liked it.
I liked it too. Alright, review's over. Have a good time, kids.
Enjoy the rest of your summer. No, this movie's a trip.
This movie does so much with the camera work. I have to say, this is a bold statement, but I stand by it. Of any movie I've ever seen, this movie uses camera work and CGI effects to effectively make you, effectively put you in the movie. Like, you gradually feel disoriented, you feel dizzy. Like, I actually got motion sickness at one point.
Warning to those who easily get motion sickness.
Yeah, a lot of the characters are under the influence of drugs throughout this movie. You feel a little bit like you might be a little high just with the visual effect.
Have you ever watched the sun go down and you're thinking about the world spinning round? Have you ever been high as fuck?
If you've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, it's a lot of that, where the trippy stuff is just in the background moving around. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of that movie with the original Wicker Man added in there, but it's also its own thing.
And there's been a lot of comparisons to The Wicker Man, obviously, because that's another pagan movie. I think the thing here is that there's not a lot of pagan movies. You know, Midsummer is a festival that pagans celebrate. But beyond that, I didn't see a whole lot of Wicker Man comparisons, aside from, like, the bringing in of, like, outsiders and such. But it's very much a different story. It's a very personal story about a girl who loses her family, and her boyfriend is going to Sweden with his college buddies, and they bring her along, and it's mostly her journey, what happens to this person when she goes into this commune.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm very familiar with a lot of Ari Aster's work. I don't
Just Hereditary is all I know.
Yeah, Hereditary and this, both really good though, so I'm looking forward to even more about that guy.
Very much in the same vein as Hereditary, because, Hereditary has a lot of pagan influence. This has a lot of pagan influence, very much in the same tone, the same kind of pacing. I didn't think it was too long. I didn't think it dragged at all. I was pretty well entertained from beginning to end.
You get some shocking footage in the beginning involving Danny and her family. But then after that, it is a while before you get any more, like, action. So I guess, well, some people might think it was a little slow for that, but I think it pays off.
I think maybe for the gore hound, it's a little slow, because you get a little something and then it's a while before you get your next serving. But I thought that there was enough psychological drama going on.
And some good build-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the characters are pretty douchey, but they're intended to be douchey, so that didn't take me out of it. But, God, Will Potter, is that his name, Pooter?
Who and Pooter? What's
Pooter, the guy with the eyebrows. I just wanted to smack him.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was supposed to be comic relief. I found him really annoying, but I think we're supposed to find him annoying.
Mark. Yeah.
I didn't like him at all. Florence, though, who plays Danny, she's fantastic. I love her. I loved her in Fighting with My Family. I love her in this. I want to see her in a lot more movies because she's so talented and such a really just attractive actress. Like, she can hold a close-up. They have that camera right up in her face, and she's doing a great job. The acting's great. She looks great. The camera work is great. It's a gorgeous film, and it's so much in the daytime, which you don't see a lot in horror.
And she has a very head-splitting, ugly cry that is loud and piercing, and you get some of that obviously in the beginning of the movie. You're going to get some of it in the middle of the movie.
You gotta let the sad out.
You're going to get some of it in the middle of the movie, and then you're going to get a lot of it at the end of the movie, because this commune does everything together.
If you're familiar with Hereditary, I think you know that Ari Aster likes to play with strange people noises. There's a lot of strange people noises. We don't have the tongue clucking, but there's a lot of weird breathy sounds and stuff, but I dug it. It's weird. It feels, it's very much kind of plays on a lot of, that kind of xenophobia, that fear of cultures and stuff that we don't necessarily understand. Like movies like Hostel play on that. They're in a strange country with people they don't know who are practicing rituals that they don't understand. So a lot of it you're just wondering, is that their culture or is there something really not quite right going on here?
Yeah.
Or both.
Shocking. Like I said, you do get a little while before you get some more of the shocking stuff, but for people who are gore hounds, I think it's a nice payoff. It is brutal violence.
Yeah, I mean, just like you got that shocking scene with Charlie's head in Hereditary, you get that here too. And the violence, it's such a strange way to put it, but it's beautiful gore.
Beautifully brutal.
Yeah, it's beautifully shot, beautifully colored, and yet it's just like turns your stomach a little bit, but you're like, God, that's really nice color work.
They're beautiful, colorful imagery, but it's still like Death Clock live action violence. So
also, I gotta give some huge props to this movie. Equal opportunity nudity. You get to see dude butt, chick butt, vag, people's pubes. You get to see dong droppage, dudes without their shirts on. You get to see everything. You get to see like butts wiggling around in the breeze. It's pretty awesome if that's what you want to say. All kinds of the fleshies are in this. And so I like that because a lot of times you get a lot of female nudity, but you don't get a lot of dude nudity. You get all the nudity. Also, they have this place where they have to stay, and all over the walls, it's like the Sistine Chapel of dongs. It is gorgeous. I only wish I had been able to help work on that art piece, because I would have gladly painted that ceiling in dongs.
You are the Michelangelo of dongs.
That has got to be the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
So, Danny is along this trip with her boyfriend Christian, which I think is kind of a funny thing.
His name is named Christian. Yeah, I do. I mean, honestly, look at a lot of the names. There's also Mark. He's clearly a Mark. He's definitely kind of a wrestling term.
Yep. It's also just for a tool, like someone who's a fool or a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like their names are pretty. The Christian guy does look like Chris Pratt, but he is like completely unlikable. It
might just be because he's a good actor and he's playing that way, but
yeah,
I need to start seeing him in other things to compare him.
He also looks kind of like the guy who plays in the 50 Shades of Grey movies, but I haven't actually seen those, so I'm just going by the trailers here. I could be way off.
Unlikable Chris Pratt though, except for when he's running around naked. It's just funny, and I don't even like seeing dudes naked, but it's just funny. He's like covering himself, like we're going to the quads.
There are parts of this movie that are so awkward and uncomfortable that I feel guilty because I hate it when I'm trying to watch a serious movie and some jerk laughs. I was the jerk. There was a part in this movie that got so uncomfortable and I just started laughing and I felt terrible.
Yeah, this is a pretty graphic sex scene for people who get uncomfortable with that kind of stuff.
Gorgeous locations.
And explicit use of juice. We were craving juice so badly.
Oh my gosh, there's so much juice in this movie. It's like every 5 seconds they're like, do you want some juice? And I'm like, dude, I would love some juice. So we got juice.
That's the first thing we did. We had to run out and go buy some juice because we were craving juice so badly because of this movie. Not so much hair pie though. Not so much hair pie.
No.
Anyway.
I like my juice without the pulp and without the pubes.
Yeah, no pubes. Pube free.
Yeah, it's just a personal preference. You do you. I don't judge.
We had the theater kind of to ourselves after, at least during the credits. I think a few people walked out during. Just saying.
Oh yeah, like at least 3 people walked out during the movie because it does get pretty brutal.
The graphic violence. But
if you stay to the end, the credits are really pretty and there's flowers and they play that song, "The sun ain't gonna shine anymore."
Okay, no more. We don't want to get demonetized.
Sorry. And then Danny, because there's like a little platform, we went up there on the stage and then we danced to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dancing in this movie and I've got great dance stamina. I could so be May Queen.
Yeah, you're my May Queen.
I think we got very fortunate that we watched this in a relatively quiet theater, which is, I think, the ideal way to see this. I mean, with Hereditary, one of my complaints was that the theater group we were in was just awful. These guys were really quiet. It was perfect setting to watch it in. But I would love to check this one out again on Blu-ray because I know that there are tons of things going on in this movie, thematically, in the background, little Easter eggs that I missed.
So I think you can all kind of gather what we're about to say, and I say see it.
You should see it.
Especially if you get a chance in the theaters before it's gone. I'd say check it out.
I give it 2 flapping butts in the breeze up.
All right, to all you out there.
Cut.